Welcome to episode 3 of the Dream Park series. In the last episode, we built this amazing coaster right here. Our first proper time building a water coaster. Never really done that before. And I think it turned out pretty good. Today's episode, we're going to be decorating it, theming it, and hopefully making it look a lot better than it does right now. Obviously, we're not going to be able to do all of it, but hopefully some of it. Unlike the last episode, where I actually forgot to save my plan for the build that I wanted to do. Today, I have. This is what my plan looks like. All the orange are like the main bits that I've confirmed I know what I want them to be. So this right here is going to be one of those canyon spikes, or maybe a few of them surrounded by one big one. Then over here we got the actual station of the ride, which is just going to be your normal canyon. We got a little stump over here which will actually be holding up some of the train track. We of course need the train track tunnel, and then over here top right we're going to have the ride go through a canyon tunnel. Maybe we can have it like a mine shaft or something, I don't know, but I think it'll be really cool. And it's going to have an overhang piece right there. Overall, I think this is going to look really nice. And in between episodes, I've done a little bit of testing to see if I can do what I actually want to do, and I think I can. I don't want it to look repetitive. Like, because we have the copy and paste tool now, we can just easily repeat stuff. Copy and paste, you get what I'm saying. So you can see right here, this is all just the same thing, but twisted up and down, you know, sized up and down. So hopefully, when I actually do it properly, I just made these in like 2 minutes. When I do it properly for this ride, it'll hopefully look natural and not copy and pasted. But before we get into the building, I would just like to say thank you so much for all the support for the series. It's insane. I'm really enjoying this, and I can't wait to see it grow. So thank you so much. If you are enjoying, please do subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And I think I may have mentioned that I wanted to do something for members at some point. And I'm not entirely sure what I wanted to do. I got a comment saying that I should maybe put people in here, but I mean, for a start, the item limits are kind of a pain here. And then secondly, I don't think it will actually look too great. We just got Cassidy here at the end, who is one of our moderators on the channel. Then I was thinking, oh, maybe we could have some members walking around here. But there's just going to be too many guests for the members to actually fill up. And I don't want to just put your name on the wall, because that just feels a bit too boring. You know, I'd like something a bit more cooler, you know? So if you have any ideas, please do let me know down in the comments down below. I'd really appreciate that. But with that said, let's head over to this ride and start building. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I am pretty nervous for this. I have no idea how this is gonna turn out, and I'm hoping it turns out at least somewhat decent. So, I think what I'm gonna start off with is actually just by removing some of this terrain, which will give us like a blank canvas to work with, just like so. I'm gonna do the first spike, the first canyon spike right here in the center, sort of like one of the main ones, I guess, of this ride. Just because I feel like once I build this, I can sort of branch off from, like, from here, I can do the big old piece right here, I can do the tunnel. I feel like this is a good starting point. We've got a rock texture right here, and I need to change my snapping. Yes, I still use the buttons down here. I don't know the fancy shortcuts and whatnot. And I'm just gonna wing it, see how this goes. But I suppose we can start off with the actual spike itself. So I would like the main spike to be right here. Why can't I increase that? Why can't I? Is that the max height? Okay. I would like the main spike to probably go up, about maybe, I feel like I would want the main spike to be about that tall, and then we can just pull this out a bit. I'm using the blue pole as a sort of guide. Something like this, we're just going to angle up ever so slightly every time we place one, so we can get a very gradual sort of curve, and then go up to a point. So if I can do something like that, and then maybe get some wedges up in here. I've never built one of these before, so it'll be interesting to see how this looks at the end. I feel like that just looks a bit too weird. Maybe if I do something like this, I feel like this could work a lot better. Still feeling a bit off, but it's getting there. Oh, what about something like that? I just added another wedge there, but a bit tilted, so it doesn't look so straight, you know? Let's bring some color to it. Okay, so this is how it's looking like with a bit of color on it. Gonna be a work in progress, but you just gotta trust the process, and hopefully it will look pretty decent in the end. Like I've said, never built one of these before, and this is a very, very weird, very interesting sort of structure, I suppose. Structure? No, natural formation. Yes, using some big words. Okay, if we actually grab the spiky bits, angle it, so it doesn't just look like a flat plane. Okay, and let's start making it like not hollow. Oh, that looks weird. Ooh. I don't know how I feel about this. Okay, something like this is starting to look a bit more like it. I'll put an image on screen right now of what I'm actually trying to build, so you guys have a better idea of what I'm trying to get at. And I think what made it work was not making it a symmetrical shape. You see here, it's much more rectangular than it is a circular look. And not only that, I've made it so it's got like a few bumps on the top, which they seem to have. I think that'll look good. What I want to add is just fill up these gaps, make it a lot more, not smoother, so that it doesn't look unnatural, but just maybe get rid of some of these V's fighting texturingness. So I'm gonna do that real quick, and I'll see you in a second. Alright, and a few minutes later, this is where we're at. I feel like it's looking pretty good now. It is actually quite smooth at the bottom, but what I'm gonna do is fix that later, and actually group everything. So glad it's not 200 items, but I'm going to shrink them. You see this? Yeah, I'm gonna put it all around around. There's too many items. Never mind. Okay, can I put it further away? I can. Okay, this is gonna be a bit weird though. I forgot about too many items. So, yep, I can't place it there. Okay, I'm gonna tilt it a bit. Nope, can't place it there. Well, this is going great. There's basically about like 500 of these next to each other, which is nice. But I think sadly we're only gonna be able to put like a few down. But that's fine. Maybe we can add one like here, maybe. It's gonna be a pain when we've got to make when we've got to actually make terrain around these or this. And there we go. You see, it's actually looking pretty cool. Oh, I'm actually really liking this now. So what I want to do now is just add a few details to each of them to make them look a bit less like they've just been copy and pasted around. They're not going to be the most realistic details. Like right here, I'm thinking of adding a little bit of an arch to them. But I feel like they're just going to be cool little details just to separate them up a bit more. Like, look at that. That just looks so cool now. But on this one, I want to add like a little just pokey outy thing going around it. Not really sure what it's called. Like, I don't think this would actually be on one of these in real life, but it just makes it a bit more interesting to look at. And that's actually looking pretty cool. And with that done, let's build the ground. And I have no idea how to do this at all. No way am I gonna... How does people build this? So you can connect a whole bunch of balls together like this, something like that, and that creates... that's not the terrain that I would like though, and that looks a bit weird. I could maybe do something like this, something like that as the floor, which actually would be kind of unique. I think what everybody does is I can actually have a go at it because, well, I've never done this before. And in this park, I'm trying to do stuff that I've never done before. So we just get a block here, make it very small, and we make a pillow out of it. I was taught this ages ago in like a live stream, I think it was, by Penguino. So thank you. It's whether or not I can actually execute it is the thing. But by doing this, you can essentially just connect up a bunch of these, and it's ground, it's terrain. It can be walls, it can be floor, it can be ceilings. I think we could try something like this, and if I don't like it, then we could just go to the cylinders, because I thought those cylinders there was actually a pretty neat idea. So let's just group all this together, and let's get building. So I'm just gonna start off with something like this, and then look, you can just connect it up like that. You don't have to go on grid or whatever. You can literally just connect it up like this, rotate it a bit, maybe pull it back like that, rotate it, and you can see how, yeah, I like this. Now we're just gonna do this for the entire floor, so I say let's hop into a quick, tiny little montage. And I found this really cool song, which I hope you guys like, because it sounds pretty sick. Yeah, let's hit it.
Don't stop.
This is what it's looking like now, and what do you think of the music? Pretty cool, huh? But apart from the music, I actually really love how this turned out. And I actually went a bit overboard with this. I even did this whole other section over here, as I just got kind of in the flow of it. And I was actually really enjoying it because it wasn't as painful as if I just placed each of these by myself by hand. So this method is amazing. And it definitely makes it look very natural and rough and just how I wanted it to look. And it also does kind of look like burnt melted cheese, which is interesting. So seeing as we went a bit overboard, let's do a few more details over on here. Of course, we're going to copy and paste this over here. Now, in the planning, I didn't realize how big this would be. So can we add a little bit of something extra so it's not all just these spikes everywhere? But saying that, first of all, I don't want to add these smaller spikes everywhere. Bro, look at this. I'm trying to place this just everywhere. Just anywhere. And I just can't. I don't get why. I get that it's made out of a whole bunch of pieces, but I mean, come on. Right, we're just going to have to forget of having a whole bunch of stumps. I would have liked like at least 2 stumps, like one there, which would just nicely fill up the space. But nope. Now, I did actually have an idea of what if we built a sort of a stump, I guess. And for reference, I'm going to use the stump from Radiator Springs because it just looks so cool. Go a very gradual wall like that, and then it goes into this, like actually very harsh like this, and then that'll be the entire stump, really. Let's see how this looks when we do a full 360 of it. Also, while I'm building this, I would just like to go on a little rant here. Well, not really a rant, I guess. More just I want to talk about Doctor Who. I'm recording this on Sunday, so the third episode of Doctor Who, Boom, just came out on Saturday, yesterday. And this is not looking how I thought it would. This looks like, I don't even know what that is. I've got to make it have a bit more of an overhang all my days. I just want to say that Boom is probably one of my all-time favorites now. So far, this new era that we're in of Doctor Who, I haven't really been liking it. It hasn't been too great. That's my personal opinions about it. I haven't really been too fond of the 14th or 15th Doctors. But Boom, that was a good one. That's the Doctor Who I'm looking for. The more serious, not Disney, like, kid show, you know? As lately, that's what Doctor Who's been feeling like. It's been feeling like I'm watching a kid's cartoon. And Boom was a very nice change. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot more serious. It was quite dark, but I couldn't stop watching it. I'm probably going to watch it for a third time today. It's such a good episode. I just wanted to say that. If you couldn't tell, I'm a big fan of Doctor Who. And I just thought I would, you know, mention it, even though probably no one cares. But if you two are a fan of Doctor Who, let me know down in the comments down below what you thought of it. I thought Boom was absolutely fantastic. And it does, in fact, show that Ncuti Gatwa can be a really good Doctor, you know, with the right story and script and all. Yeah, that's my thoughts on the latest episode of Doctor Who. I thought I would just talk about that for a second while I'm building this here stump, which I'm actually quite liking. We do have to just add a bit of colour, and I think maybe just a bit more of a gradual bottom right here. Very gradual bottom, that sounds weird. Oh yeah, that looks a lot better with this. Okay, I need to finish this. I need to do this all the way around. And there we go. It does look a bit weird with these lines through it, but at the same time, it does look really cool with them. It looks much more like a factory sort of wall, doesn't it? But before we change that, let's just add these colours in. I'm just going to add a line of orange right under here. There we go. That's actually looking really cool. I can't get over the fact that it looks like a mushroom. Does anyone else see it? Okay, so now that we've done a little bit of the painting, what I'm just going to do now is mess around with these so it doesn't look as factory-like, and just get rid of all these lines through here. Okay, something like this should do quite nicely. And now we are finished with the base of it. We're not finished. We're nowhere near finished, but we're making some good progress for sure. What I would like to do now is actually start creating some scenery, because there are some like little like sort of dead bushes and also some alive bushes down on the ground here. So how can we make that? I feel like we could, well, there is a straight up dead tree. What, can we make that smaller? We can make that really small. Oh, hold up. We could do something really cool here with this. Oh, look at that. Oh my, that actually looks really cool. Now I'm just gonna plonk these everywhere, but not everywhere, so it takes up the entire place, but just here and there to make the land look a bit more interesting. And just like that, that adds so much to the terrain. Look how cool this all looks. This is starting to come together so nicely. It is so cool. Right, I did say that I wanted to add like some alive trees, or not even trees. Like we could do just a few bushes, maybe not these bushes exactly. Maybe we could do these tiny trees as the bushes, as they sort of fit in with the style of the dead trees. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's nice. That's a nice one. Yeah, that's really nice. I like that. Okay, I can't tell you how much I'm actually loving this. At the start, I was questioning it, like, was this even gonna look good? But I think that this is gonna look freaking sick when it's finished. Just look how cool this looks. I kind of want to do the tunnel. I want to make this part of the ride, you know, underground. It's gonna go through a tunnel or like a mine entrance, and it's gonna pop out here into the splashdown, which is gonna be a lot easier said than done. Yeah, let's just get straight to it. Okay, I'm not entirely sure how to actually do this, or how to go about doing this, but I'm just gonna try my best and see how it looks. So right here will probably be the entrance, so I only really need to make terrain going from about here-ish. Just gotta connect it up with the already existing terrain. Okay, I'm adding in the final pieces of terrain right now. All the gap right here will be covered over by a big old chunk of land. Maybe we can just use the pillows again? We can try it. I mean, it's actually not too bad. Alright, I think I'm gonna go with this. Okay, that turned out way better than I thought it would. It was actually way easier than I thought it would be. It's just the pillows. But now we actually have to make it so you don't, you know, die on the ride from all these pokey outy bits. Let's also give it some sort of a roof like that. So, sort of already see the mine shafty look. Oh, look at that. That's just so cool. Alright, let's do the top of this piece of terrain right here. Once again, using the pillow method. I think something like this should do the trick quite nicely. Oh my days. That is really cool. There's a few holes right there. I can fix that though. That's fine. This is turning out pretty sick. That is literally what I had in mind, bro. This pillow effect is insane. I'm just gonna group them all up and start putting a roof on this. That's all I'm gonna do for the roof of this place at the moment. I think off camera, I'll try and make this a lot more smooth, like, you know, natural looking and smoother than just these harsh edges. I don't think, we have to add a back. But once again, I think I'll either do that in the next episode or off camera, because that's just literally just building building more terrain, isn't it? Look how weird that looks. The light goes through the primitives. That's interesting. But let's start building the interior. Also, Maliboomer is about to go live in 45 minutes. He's going to be touring parks, and I'm hoping that I can get in and that he can replace this very statue right here, because that'd be kind of cool. He doesn't tour parks that often. But anyway, back to this. We got to build out the floor right here. And like 10 minutes later, this is how it's looking. It's a bit claustrophobic in here, but I guess that's the mines for you. I'm not entirely sure what to do with this yet, like any special features I want to add or unique details, I guess. But something that I know for sure is that I wanted it to be underground, and I want to add those mine supports in, like the mine shaft supports. So I'm just going to build off of here, and they are going to be a bit janky because, you know, it's an old, I don't know if it's abandoned, but I mean, we could go for an abandoned vibe, why not? Actually, that doesn't look too bad either. And now I'm just going to copy and paste this about a few times, not a lot, not a ridiculous amount, and that's the final one there. We've only got 5 in total, and the roof's so high that it just looks a bit weird. I could just lower the roof, actually. I'm going to try that. All right, let's lower this down to about there. Then we could do something around that height. It seems to be getting smaller, like the further down the cave you go. Look at the difference between this and that. But with that last mineshaft pole support complete, I'm gonna call that a day for this episode. We've done a lot more than I thought we would in today's episode, and it is looking fantastic, may I say. Let's take a look at this in free cam. Do let me know what you think of this, what little scenery pieces I could add. This is definitely not done, so don't you worry. Make sure to tune in next episode, as we're gonna continue building some more scenery, and we might even have ourselves a Maliboomer statue. Hey, you'll just have to see for the next episode. Hey, I'm gonna leave you guys on a cliffhanger. Don't forget the ride POV, that's gonna pop up in a second, and thanks so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please do subscribe, I'd really appreciate that. And yeah, see ya!